Welcome to this Teaching Tidbits tutorial, focused on the topic of evaluating intern performance using performance criteria. This short tutorial will lead you through key things you need to know to use the UBC Dietetics Internship Performance Criteria, and includes 2 evaluation scenario examples. If you'd like to follow along on an actual evaluation form during this tutorial, you can access all of the forms at the link at the top of this slide. All forms are located in the Internship Modules and Forms folder, indicated by the lower red arrow on the screen. Within each form, typically on page 5 or 6 of each module document, you will find the Performance Assessment Guide. This guide is intended to be used by interns and preceptors. The goal is that the same criteria is used for evaluation by both interns and preceptors. This image shows the rating scale used for each practice competency. The language used here is taken from the National Integrated Competencies Entry to Practice Statement, with consideration that the ratings would be used throughout internship and therefore had to leave room for intern skill development. The ratings are meant to be used to assess an intern's performance based on each competency in a holistic way. Successful completion of a placement requires that all competencies have a rating of 2 or 3. An evaluation containing any 1 ratings means that the intern will not pass the placement. Let's move on to look closer at the description of each rating. For a rating of 1, there are significant concerns with practice. You will notice certain words are bolded and underlined, which distinguish the language associated with a 1 rating. It is the repeated errors and inability to recognize situations beyond their capacity that are key here. When it comes to communication, collaboration, and professional practice competencies, those worthy of a 1 rating aren't being demonstrated at all, or most of the time. An intern cannot pass a placement with a 1 rating in any competency domain. The 1 rating is meant to flag concerning performance issues that require attention before an intern can move forward with internship. A rating of 2 indicates that the intern is progressing and is aware of areas requiring further development or guidance. Again, you will notice certain words are bolded and underlined, which distinguish the language associated with the 2 rating. For example, the intern begins to apply previous learning and identifies and interprets key information most of the time, requires only occasional guidance, recognizes situations beyond capacity, and usually demonstrates communication, collaboration, and professional practice competencies. A rating of 3 indicates full competence for entry-level practice. It does not state that the intern knows or does everything independently, but they consistently demonstrate skills and attributes that would be used as a dietitian. They're also able to recognize when they need help and reach out accordingly. Many interns will achieve 3 ratings as they get more experience in internship, towards the middle and end of the year. However, some interns can achieve competency faster than others, so if it feels appropriate, you can certainly give a 3 rating early in the internship year. Similarly, interns may not achieve 3 ratings in all competencies by the end of internship. 2 ratings may still be appropriate by the end of internship, recognizing that development is a career-long process and that everyone has different strengths and learning curves. Let's look at 2 internship scenarios to apply the performance criteria. Your intern is nearing the end of her final Nutrition Care 1 placement. She is able to complete nutrition assessments for patients and collects the relevant information most of the time. On a few occasions, she missed important details which impacted the appropriateness of the nutrition care plan that was created. She was receptive to feedback in these situations, and once the issue of why the details were important was discussed, she didn't miss the same detail on a second occasion. She's able to determine nutrition requirements for patients, but lacks confidence and is regularly wanting confirmation that her answer is quote-unquote right. She's able to determine the most important patients to see, but you worry she won't be able to keep up in a faster-paced setting in nutrition care too. Consider these questions on your own or with your colleagues. You may wish to pause the video at this point before moving on. based on this information, what rating would you give for the assess nutrition-related risks and needs of patients or clients competency? This scenario sounds like a 2 based on the intern was able to complete nutrition assessments for patients and collects the relevant information most of the time. On a few occasions, she missed important details, but not consistently. She was receptive to feedback in these situations, and she didn't miss the same detail on a second occasion, which shows evidence of progression. Some other things you might be thinking about are some opportunities to give this intern feedback. For example, around lacking confidence and regularly wanting confirmation that her answer is right, you may discuss with the intern that the reality of practice is that there often isn't a clear right or wrong answer, and building towards tolerating those gray areas and using a sound process for decision making is a direction that she may want to focus on. Around the ability to keep up with the faster-paced environment in nutrition care too, a conversation about strategies this intern might use to adapt to a faster pace may be an excellent point to discuss in a feedback conversation. Let's look at another scenario. Your intern is nearing the end of his management placement. Throughout the 8 weeks, he's worked on numerous projects. Throughout his placement, he worked independently and didn't seek out extra meetings with you other than a regular meeting on Friday afternoon to review his progress for the week. You saw him speaking to other staff members on several occasions and were not overly told to do so. His work demonstrates he has a strong grasp of the project management process in the food service setting. While he doesn't inform you of his day-to-day activities, when prompted with questions about his reasons for project plans and evaluations, his answers indicate he has thought about the project from various angles. Once again, consider these questions on your own or with colleagues. You may wish to pause the video at this point before moving on. Based on this information, what rating would you give for the manage programs and/or projects competency? This scenario sounds like a 3 based on the fact that the intern worked independently and didn't seek out extra meetings with you other than a regular meeting on Friday afternoon. You saw him speaking with other staff members on several occasions when not overtly told to do so, which demonstrates taking initiative. His work demonstrated he had a strong grasp of the project management process in the food service setting, and when prompted with questions about his reason for project plans, his answers indicate he's thought about the project from various angles. Other things you may be thinking about to further this intern's development is having a conversation with him about his experience of the project management in the placement. Did he feel comfortable with the level of independence and how you approach the situation as a preceptor? Are there future goals he might be working towards, given that he's performed so well in this introductory experience? And are there other transferable experiences that he can apply this knowledge to in other practice settings? In summary, when using performance criteria, consider the overall performance of an intern and try to focus on where the intern is at by the end of the placement. Choose the rating that best represents the performance, and keep in mind that a 2 or 3 rating for all competencies are required to pass the internship placement. Thank you for watching this UBC Dietetics Teaching Tidbits tutorial.